What's what's going on, brothers? It is your dude, International Passport, here again for yet another classic live stream. Can you brothers in the live stream chat hear me? Please press a one. If my audio is loud and clear, let me know, brothers. Before I go any further in this live stream, how's my audio, brothers? How's my audio? How's my audio, brothers? Press a one in the chat if my audio is loud and clear. Just need to make sure that we have no technical issues. Who's here? Nate Callie, thank you, brother. Thomas Demihin, thank you, Thomas Demihin. Jay Bones, I see you, bro. James Humbert, Mike Lawrence, thank you, brothers. So, welcome, brothers, for another classic live stream. I want to say a huge shout out to my old subscribers. And welcome aboard to my new subscribers for joining the International Passport movement. First and foremost, brothers, please hit the like button, brothers. Please subscribe to the channel. And of course, support the channel through the Cash App and the Super Chats. That'd be greatly appreciated, brothers. Now, we have a very special guest here today called Mr. Jarrod Ibn Lamont, who's a very intelligent brother. And this brother, he knows his stuff. I respect him a lot. He's here to speak about Kenyan women and dating them. But before we go any further about dating Kenyan women, Mr. Jarrod, can you please introduce yourself to the panel, who you are, where you're from in America, what you do, and why you travel in the first place? Go on, brother.
Thanks, IP, for having me on, man. My name is Jarrod Ibn Lamont. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. That's why I got the D on the Detroit Tigers hat on right now, representing the D, sitting here on the east side of Detroit. I have what a little bit about me. I'm a retired military guy. Served in the Army, the regular Army, and the Army National Guard, both in Florida and Michigan for 23 years. Retired in 2020. The military really got me kind of, on the traveling tip. I served a 3-year stint in Hawaii. Then followed up by another 3-year stint in active duty in Tampa, Florida, where I belong to the Central Command. Got to do some tours overseas. One in Doha, Qatar, and then the second when I was in the Florida Army National Guard, we had a deployment to Kuwait/Iraq, where we did convoy security patrols in and out, protecting logistical packs going in and out of Iraq into Kuwait. What got me traveling? Ultimately, I had a few relationships. Specifically, my second wife that I married was from South Africa. So outside of the military, it was for that. As well. So I've been to South Africa, I've been to Dubai, I've been to the Middle East. And most recently this year, I went to Kenya for 3 months. And so I'm here to talk about that experience.
Fantastic, brother. Thank you for such a great introduction there, Jarrod. So let's get straight into it, brother. Kenya, very interesting choice. Before I even speak about Kenyan women, I want to know, brother, why you chose to travel to Kenya in the first place. Was that part of your job, or did you hear from a friend that, oh, Kenya is a great country to meet gorgeous women? Break it down for us, Jarrod.
Well, it was a woman that initially got me interested in going to Kenya. I was actually courting a woman. So for first and foremost, if you can tell by the way that my name is actually spelled, I'm Muslim, and I belong to the Muslim faith. And in the Muslim faith, you can have one of the things a male can have is have more than one wife. So I have a wife currently here in the States, but I was looking for another wife, and so I went to a website called Muslima.com, where I had courted a few women, one couple in South Africa, Uganda, and the one that I was really attracted to and spent some time talking to lived in Kenya. And so that was the initial reasoning why I chose Kenya, because she was there. And so that was the main reason, but I ended up finding some other reasons for going as well.
Thank you, brother. Fantastic. All right, so brother, I'm gonna go straight into it, brother. Are the women in Kenya checking heavy for American black men?
From my experience, yes. From my experience, no doubt. It wasn't hard at all, man. So prior to me even so last year, so I courted this lady from Kenya. I want to say it was August of 2020. And then I made the decision, like, okay, cool, where I'm going to go and get married or what have you. And bought the plane ticket in November. I was supposed to fly and arrive by March. By end of January, things went south between me and her. So it was already over prior to me even going. So I had happened to have watched, O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm a big fan of his and his Kinganda channel, as well as his other channel. But on there, he had talked about how him being in Uganda, which is a neighboring country of Kenya, that brothers have to watch out, and stay on the grind. And he was in the process, he was saying that you're going to match with Tinder dates, like, match with women like maybe 80% of the time. So I wasn't even aware that Tinder had a ability to be able to, like, you move your location. So if you have a certain, you pay for certain pay profiles or certain subscriptions to Tinder, i.e. Tinder Gold, that's the one that I had. I noticed, I'm like, oh, I can actually move my location and put it over into a foreign country. And so when I did that, man, it was like, compared to where it was in the States, I would get, so many hits here and there or whatever. But man, it was just like how he said, like, as soon as I moved my location over there, it was just like, boom, they were flying in, like, within like not even 4 or 5 minutes of having my profile stated, in Nairobi. And I moved it over to Uganda. So yeah, dude, I don't know what it is, but like they can tell that we're not African, so to speak, or we're not African in the sense of like we're native Africans or what have you. Those of us who are part of the diaspora. And I had like no problem at all, like freaking, matching and getting interest from women in Kenya and other countries besides Kenya. But since we're talking about Kenya, it was no problem at all.
Damn, wonderful, brother, wonderful. This is great news so far, brother. So my next question is, where did you travel to in Kenya? And, can you list the best cities to go to in Kenya to meet women that check for brothers? If you can do that for me, Gerald.
Yeah, sure, man. So unfortunately, I've only been to like one city in Kenya, which is the main city, which is the capital city, which is Nairobi. There is other cities, but for instance, there's a coastal city called Mombasa, where a lot of people like go to vacation or what have you. Like the whole time I was there, people were asking me had I been to Mombasa, but unfortunately, when I got there, it was COVID. It was full blown COVID at that point in time. And while I was there, we went on a lockdown where they actually locked down travel from like 5 counties, Nairobi. So you have Nairobi, which is the capital city, as well as they have this, like the English, it's a county system, right? As far as, the next level of government. And so Nairobi County was locked down, as well as the adjacent counties, like 4 other adjacent counties that touched Nairobi. So no traffic could go back and forth unless you had like special permission. So it didn't lift apart until about maybe 2 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks prior to me leaving. So I didn't have a chance to go to Mombasa. But yeah, Nairobi is the main city. It's like a city of like, maybe I want to say 8 to 9 million people. It's a major city with many estates, neighboring states or what have you, what we would think of as like neighborhoods or what have you. So yeah, so my only experience is Nairobi specifically. And so from what I know, Nairobi is the place to be. I mean, it's the most happening place. Most everyone else come from other areas of Kenya to get work there or what have you, like neighboring villages, other cities or what have you. None of them are big as Nairobi from what I know. Machakos, I think, is the next major city to the southeast of Nairobi. But yeah, it was the major city. So everyone, it's almost like I would think of it like the New York City of Kenya or what have you. So yeah, that is the main hub.
Fantastic, brother. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Thomas Demihin for the £1.79 super chat. Foreign black women are God's chosen women. Yes, indeed. It's not all about black American women or UK black women. No, expand your horizons. There's a lot more to black women than Western black women. Yes, indeed, brother. Shout out to Nate Cali for the £2.02 cash app. Thank you, brother. Here for support IP. Thank you for your support, Nate Cali. Much appreciated. Brothers, can we get the likes up? It's too low. We've got over 40 people watching, but less than 30 likes. That's not right. So can we please get the likes up, brothers? Thank you. So next question for you, brother. Right? Are the black women in Nairobi, Kenya, are they feminine, brother? Femininity is a very important thing for me. I want my black foreign queen to be feminine. Can I find feminine black women in Nairobi on average?
Yes, I definitely. It's a mixed bag. I'm gonna be honest with you. Westernism has spread its ugly tentacles everywhere. So you see city girls. That's real. But are there feminine women there? Yes, man. By far, even even what they have is as far as Westernism and their acceptance of it, pop culture, hip hop, going to bars, dancing, all of that type of stuff. All of that's there, bro. You know what I mean? The ratchetness is there. It's just it just takes a different form. Like I would say, they're like maybe 10 or 15 years behind what we have here in the West or what have you. But yeah, the ones that I dealt with, you know what I'm saying? I had a mix of both because I dealt with a lot of women when I was there. And but yeah, for honestly, like for those, the ones that I did, it was nothing for them. Like, they'll come spend the night or what have you. Then the next morning, like with no prompt, no me telling them to do anything. You know what I'm saying? They're washing the dishes. They straighten up the house. You know what I'm saying? They doing all of that. And we was just, maybe just like a, one night thing type. You know what I'm saying? Or it wasn't like anything like, this was my girlfriend, so to speak. That was kind of just like ingrained in them to do those type of feminine or womanly type duties that usually, most women, even if you are married to them here in the States or girlfriend status, they'll be kind of checking you, be like, oh no, fixing your plate. Like none of that is like that's just part of who their identity is, like right off rip. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's definitely is definitely that, man. You're not going to see, like, while I was there for 3 months, and I never saw like any type of a female raising her voice to her like a dude or anything like that. Even like in the few times I was able to like go to club settings or what have you, because it wasn't as much due to the whole lockdown when I got there or what have you. But for what I could see, it was, you didn't see like that hostility, that masculineness, you know what I'm saying, that you see normally in the States or what have you, which is just common that you wouldn't even think twice about. So yeah, man, I definitely would say, like, yeah, their femininity is way better than what you would have here in the West.
Okay. That's great to hear, brother. Partly. From what I've heard, Kenya, Nigeria, and 2 or 3 African countries, South Africa definitely, feminism is growing there, and I'm very careful with those countries as to who I meet with the women from those countries, because I don't know if they're feminists covertly and they're hiding it from me. So, but on a scale ratio, would you say it's 60% feminine woman in Kenya, Nairobi, and 40% feminist woman in Nairobi? Or is it 70% feminine woman, 30% feminist woman? Give us that number breakdown, bro, just so we know what we deal with on average.
Man, I didn't really run across any feminists so to speak, like in the classical sense, right? I did come across, you know, some of the crap that you would run into, you know, with girls in the States. But if I were to give it a ratio, really, I would say probably 70-30, you know, more genuine, more traditional, more, you know, definitely they have a like they want the dude to take the lead and like almost in everything, you know what I'm saying? They're all well, let's say this. They're definitely about you paying for stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like they definitely about like, you know, they're used to like, you know, guys being the financial breadwinners, or, you know, if they quote unquote you are claiming you as a boyfriend, or they're trying to treat you in that type of role, you know what I'm saying? They're about that, which many times I had to kind of like check, like, you know, like wait up, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to get used or anything like that. So they're used to that, but in kind they act in accordance to that though. You know what I'm saying? So you know, so if they're going to be like, you know, if they're going to be to try to treat you in the boyfriend type role, they're going to act in the girlfriend type role or the wife type role. They're gonna act in a submissive role. You know what I'm saying? They're going to take your lead or what have you. So, but yeah, I hope hopefully I answered that question, man.
Very well. Thank you, brother. Very well. Shout out to Jay Bones for the $99 super sticker. Thank you, Jay Bones. Much appreciated, brother. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Next question for you, brother, is prostitution a problem in Nairobi, Kenya?
Not outwardly, man. Not outwardly. I didn't see anybody like walking the stroll or the strip like they have here in the States. What you do see, and I peep game real quick. What you do see is the massage parlors. There's a lot of advertisements for like, you know, massages, in-house, outhouse, you know, type of things. You know, and I you know, being somebody just from the West, I automatically realized it, you know, because they'll have like a real voluptuous woman on the advertisement, you know what I'm saying, dressed in nothing that you would do like at a true legit massage, right? So you kind of knew that it was just it's a little cold word for prostitution. Another thing that I did run into is that like guys there in Kenya, they, you know, they will pay for chicks to sleep with them. You know what I mean? So I ran into about 3 times when me dealing with women where it was like, you know, okay, they expected me to pay them like straight up like a pro, like a, you know, a quid pro quo type of situation. And it was like, no, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like it was no, like, no, that's not what I'm doing. And it was like, and then the funny, crazy part about it was like they were arguing with me about it. You know what I mean? like, you know, it's like, oh, well, because I had this one chick like on Tinder, right? I met her on, you know, matched on Tinder or what have you. She was like, hey, how you doing? You know, it was, you know, again, nothing that was anything remotely like a prostitute situation. It was a dating app. And then she was like, yo, you know, I want to see you. I'm like, okay, I'm in South Beach. She's like, okay, cool. I'll roll through. I'm like, when? She was like, tonight. I'm like, okay, cool. She was like, yeah. You know, but what you gonna get me for coming out? I'm like, you know, be more specific of what you mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, because she was talking in code, but I knew what she was saying, so I wanted to pull her out. She was like, you know, for me coming to see you, you know what I mean? And I'm like, listen, I'll pay for your taxi. You know what I'm saying? You come over, I got drinks, you know, I get the food, you know what I'm saying? Like that's you know, standard, right? At least for me, that would be standard, you know what I'm saying? Food, drinks, whatever, you know, whatever happens, what happens. But she was just like, well, you know, well, why would I come out if you didn't, you know what I'm saying? You know, what if I get and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Like she made it pretty, I mean, and so then I was like, well, you know, when she made it clear that she was talking about pay for play, I was like, yo, like, honestly, why would you even be on this site? You know what I'm saying? You know, you might as well, you know, just be a, you know, prostitute or what have you. And she took offense to me saying that. You know what I mean? She was like, well, you gonna get, she said, well, what would I get out of it if I, you know what I'm saying? Like if I gave you sex, what would I get out of it? You know, and I'm like, it's a mutual exchange, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but that's not how she saw it. And so that, you know, and I had been made aware of that through somebody else that I was speaking to, or what have you. One of her friends were interested in me. And so I was like, yo, I'm down, whatever. I mean, if you cool with it, I'm down with it. And she was like, but yeah, she's like, I know my friend, she gonna want to get paid. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, I ain't doing that. I'm like, nah, I'm straight. But that was an indirect. Where this time this was like straight up direct. You know what I mean? And I had another situation where it was like right before I'm about to, get in the pants or what have you. Oh, girl was like, what you gonna pay me? I'm like, nothing. Like, what do you mean? This is after like going, I met her in the bar, you know what I'm saying? Came back, got the drink, got the food. It was no talk before then, but like right before the act, she talking about, you know what I'm saying, trying to charge me. I'm like, nah, I'm like, we don't even got to do nothing then if that's what the case. I'm like, look, you already eating off of me right now. Like with it, I'm like, I'm cool with the drinks, the food. That's about it. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So those are the 3 times that I know of. So like, because over there it's common for guys to like, just to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So chicks are desperate. You know what I'm saying? And they'll, you know what I mean? But they wouldn't consider themselves as prostitutes, even though really what they're doing is prostitution, but it's like in an indirect way. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to say like the ratchetness or whatever, like, a city girl, a regular chick you see in the club or whatever, they're not coming off to you like, yeah, I'm a charge you or this and this and that beforehand or so on and so forth, but they'll, it may get to that point where they ask for that. But those are the 3 instances that I had. But like, that's like 3 out of like, 20 something instances where that didn't come up at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's there. It's there. That's all I can say. It's definitely there. I'm not going to try to make it out like it wasn't, but it wasn't prevalent. I had many a times that wasn't ever the case. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Thank you, brother. Brothers, please hit the cash apps, hit the super chats. We're going to have a great stream. I feel it. I really feel it. It's going to be a classic. And brothers, please use code words in the live stream chat. Don't type the word BW for, right? BW, ABW, EBW, RP. Use code names as much as possible. YouTube has a very powerful algorithm machine learning capability that looks for certain trigger words, and we don't want them coming after my channel. Hell no. All right, so going on to my next question, brother. Feminism. Okay. You said that Western feminism will happen in Kenya full on in 20 years. That's what you said, brother, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I said they behind. Yeah,
they're behind, yeah.
Yeah, they're behind. So indirectly, yes. So yeah, I could see that possibly happening or what have you, you know what I mean? Maybe,
Lord have mercy. So that means brothers got to get there quickly. Brothers have 10 years, 15 years to get a chick there. And I wouldn't live in Kenya. I'd probably take my Kenyan chick and move her to Costa Rica, move her to somewhere in Japan, keeping it real, bro. Don't bring her back to America. Don't bring her back to the UK. Don't keep her in Kenya. Take her out and move her to a different feminine country, Colombia, Costa Rica. I've heard very, very bad things about Kenya in terms of feminism. I even know a few Kenyan chicks myself out here in the UK. These chicks, they're done for. There ain't no saving those women that I know. So thank you for confirming that, brother, because I've been hearing that for the past couple of years now, past 4 years actually, by Kenyan men. So I know that's true. I appreciate you, Jarrod.
No doubt. And when I say feminism, like they're not in a position to do feminism like how they can in the West, because honestly, in essence, in my estimation, feminism is so prevalent in the West is because women can earn incomes that make them independent, and that's not the case. That's not the case in Kenya, right? They don't have the economic. Women don't have really the economic wherewithal or power. The economy itself really is kind of skewed for those who are in the know or what have you. So you do see women live. There are women that live on their own and have jobs, but it's just really I met so many, maybe also because of COVID, but I met so many women that didn't have jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like that was normal. That's with education. Without education, it was really, really rough. It's really rough right now, and that's a big problem in Africa, period. So you don't. So without them having that economic independence, they're really still totally reliant on dudes. You know what I'm saying, to support them. You know, for the most part. And so, you know, you got that. You know, but as far as like, you know, what you think as far as popular culture, you know, it's the same in the States over there, but just maybe not to the same ratchetness, you know. Like you still got women that, you know, that dress scantily, you know what I'm saying? You still got women that go to clubs, you still got women that obviously that, you know, that no doubt probably sleep around, you know what I'm saying? You know, obviously you got women that are willing to sell themselves, you know, for money if need be, you know what I'm saying? You got all of that, but it's much more. Men still are very much in control of the whole situation. You know what I mean? Because men still hold the economic power. It's not. It's only. It wouldn't look the same way like how it looks here in the States. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Men still hold the economic power, and women really can't like really get outside of that without them really hurting. I met a lot of women that had like single, you know, that had children, but the children were with the mother or with the aunt or with the sister or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't, you know, they had to, you know, in order for them to live on their own, they had, you know, they maybe had roommates, you know what I mean? That type of thing. I saw a lot of that. Women, you know, shacking up with each other or what have you. They're not in a position to be fully independent economically. So it can never, I think, ever reach to the same potential. Like, you know, they know, you know, I met one quote unquote so-called boss chick, maybe two. You know what I'm saying? While I was there, that kind of had that type of attitude that you would think of a westernized woman here in the States. So, like I said, women are still dependent, so that therefore they know their role. You know what I mean? And they're willing to act in that role or whatever. But it's definitely gonna be like, you know, a hands out type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like every time it turns out, you got, you know, 1,001 excuses about, you know, hey, I need this and I need that, and it had to be like, y'all, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of that. It was a lot of begging. You know what I mean? That's that for sure that I encountered and saw, dog.
Okay, thanks for that, brother. What was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought there. Yes, Conrad Grant, I saw your Cash App yesterday. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated, bro. Conrad, thank you. Next question for you, brother, is are Kenyan women good looking? So I want you to rate their face and their body on average. So out of 10, what would you rate the average Kenyan woman's face? And out of 10, what would you rate the average Kenyan woman body? Are Kenyan women good looking in general? You know, physically, you know, facially. Give us the truth, brother.
Man, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, man. You know what I'm saying? Here, you know, honestly, like I'm more like a guy that I was willing to show you because I could show you better than I could tell you, and let the audience make the choice. But I know you don't really do that on your channel. I would say, man, they were very beautiful women there, dude. Like, you know, I would say, you know, it's the normal range of like beauty, and you're gonna have a particular percentage, right? That's gonna be 7, 8, 9, 10s. You know what I'm saying? Most of everybody's, you know, it's the bell curve. You know what I mean? Most people are gonna be, you know, in that 15 to 15, right? You know, you got 15% that's hella ugly, 15% that are above average, and everybody falls in that middle. You know, if you ever took statistics, you know what I'm saying? You know, which is what, like 60 something, you know what I'm saying? Or what have you. So as far as I mean, again, it's up to what you think. I thought, you know, they were comparable, you know, good looking to me, you know what I'm saying? Or what have you. Now, here's what I would definitely say as far as we talk about the bodies, though. Now, the bodies, like they are freaking really, they are very much in shape. You're not going to see on average, like, you know, fat chicks in Kenya. You know what I mean? It's there. Believe me, it's there, but it's like not the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to see like, you know, what like really overweight women there. Like that is the outliers versus most of the women are thin. You know what I'm saying? Most of the women are thin. You know what I'm saying? Most of the women are in proportion, naturally fit. You know what I mean? You know, you're going to see more fit women than you are going to see obese or overweight women there. So by far, and then a lot of them have like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, a lot of, you know, waist to hip ratio. If you into the big booties and thighs and, you know what I'm saying, skinny waist, you know what I'm saying, and maybe more petite up on top, and then you're gonna see, you know what I'm saying, you're more, you know, bigger chest. You're gonna have all of that. You know, I'm a more of a chest guy, so that, you know, that's what I like. But yeah, man, all types, all sorts. But yeah, they definitely, as far as bodies wise, you know, compared to like on average, like if you took an average Kenyan chick versus an average, you know, Black American chick, you know, here in the States, yeah, they're gonna beat them on the body for sure. Absolutely not. Depending on what you like, as far as phenotypically, they're African. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, you know, how each person like views and looks at that. You know what I'm saying? But here's another thing too that I didn't wasn't really aware of. They had all of the, you know what I'm saying, the racial tones as well. I'm sorry, skin tones. So like, you know, I saw some of the most beautifulest dark skinned women there, like that I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you know, like straight up. Usually I'm not really like attracted to like really like dark chocolate women. But man, they had some of the most, I mean, like on average, dude, just for me personally, phenotypically, like I was like blown away how many dark-skinned, beautiful sisters was out there, you know what I'm saying? But then they have women my complexion, you know, pretty much my complexion is considered light skin there, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, then there's also different, because Kenya is, you know, is like the hub of East Africa. You got, you know, other women I saw someone in the chat talk about Tanzanian. I met a Tanzanian chick there. You know, you got, you know, Somalis, Ethiopians, you know, you got that mix as well. Rwandans, you know what I'm saying, Ugandans, you know, are there. So it's a big collection of a lot of East Africans, you know what I'm saying, inside of Kenya. It's like a melting pot. Everyone has their different groups. So you got, you know, you have a good, a lot of mix that you can kind of like, you know, meet and get into there. So definitely I say they have above, on average, their bodies are better than, you know, women out in the West, at least here in America. I don't know how it is in UK, because, you know, in America, we do have a lot of obesity. So by far, they have better bodies. No, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. As far as the face wise, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on what you are phenotypically into. Like, they don't look like Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? That's for one. Sometimes you'll see somebody like, oh, she kind of look like she could be Black American, like she will, but they definitely look African. You know what I mean? If from a Black American's eyes, you know what I'm saying? But that's not a bad thing to me. But you know, it just, you know, to each his own. I never really get into like trying to judge what another man thinks is good or bad. But like I said, you know, it's that ratio. You know, you're gonna have your top, your 8, 9s, and 10s, and you know what I'm saying, your middle ones, and you know, your ugly ones as well, or your least attractive ones as well. You know, it meets that metric as far as that goes. So as far as the spread, the statistical spread.
Okay, thanks for that, brother. Great breakdown. Shout out to Willie Beeman for the $10 super chat. What's up, Willie Beeman? That's a brother there. Hello, IP, and shout out to the brothers here in the chat. So far, I'm feeling the intel on Kenya, but I'm really interested in the Tanzanian ladies because of their curvy body shapes. Is that stream coming? Yes, indeed. It's coming very soon. Willie Beeman, be patient, brother. I'm going to drop that real quick, brother. But appreciate you, Willie Beeman. That stream is coming soon. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Mr. Let's see. Shout out to Mr. Evan Yearwood. What's up, Evan Yearwood? My brother out there in New York for the $9.99 super chat. Salute, respect to the guest, but that's not the case in regards to women in Vancouver. They are still feminine and wealthy. Feminism is based on ideology, not economics or control. Great sentiment there. Thank you, bro, for your super chat there. Cortez Smith.
Yeah. Just let him come up. Please come up, dude, because that dude is the most hater dude around, man. Don't block him out, IP. Please come, bring yourself up to the chat when he opens it up, and so you can defend some of your haterade, man. Honestly, man, I really dislike that dude.
Curtis Smith, tone down on the comments, brother. You know, please don't upset our guests. You know, take it easy. You know, or I might have to come in here and be the judge, jury, and executioner. And I don't want to do that right now, brother. I want the brothers to have a good time, have a good stream. So Please don't anger our guests. I know for some reason you have history of the guests, but
Yeah,
not on
bro.
my channel, bro.
You
You know,
always be
keep it
saying some
easy.
hater stuff, dude. Like, have you been anywhere? Like, dude always got the most hater thing to say, dog. That's why I'm like I said, I knew he was gonna come through, man. I saw him hating on some other stuff on another one of your streams, dog. I predicted it that he was gonna come through. Yeah, he at work. He can't come up, man. Whatever.
Hey,
Let himself,
hey,
man.
Kingu said you're at work, but yet you're here. Hey, Cortez Smith, man, you looking funny in the light, bro. You looking real funny in the light, Cortez Smith, bro. Hey, shout out to the brother, Jarrod, man. That's the brother right there. I love the passion, bro. Shout out to Japan Styles for the $2 super chat. Cortez can't get East Indian, and he's African. That's why. LOL. Hey, Cortez Smith, man, you're getting called out, bro. You're getting called out, Cortez Smith, man. So take it easy, brother. Be easy, bro, or the banning might start. So as I was saying, brothers, whoa, the likes. What on earth has gone on with the likes, brothers? We got over 70 people watching, but less than 50 likes. I'm gonna give you brothers 5 minutes to get the likes up, or the singing will start. The singing will most definitely start, and you don't want to hear me sing, brothers, right? So if you don't want to hear me sing, get the likes up.
Yeah, get the likes up, man. IP will do it. I saw one of your streams, bro. He will do it, dog. He ain't playing around, man. Get them likes up, man.
Get them likes up, brothers.
Let me see
no swearing in the live stream chat, brothers. So John Wallace, it's international. Please remove your comments. No swearing, brothers, please. Thank you. Next question for you, brother, is do Kenyan women speak English, or do we have to learn the Kenyan language to communicate?
No, you don't have to. Yes, they speak English, and no, you don't have to learn another language. Now, do they? So the main language, I think the lingua franca is English. As far as the official language, let me put that. The official language is English, but Swahili is the most spoken language. They have a lot of tribes. I don't even want to try to sit up here and act like I know all of the tribes. So they have a lot of tribes there, and so when they decided to, when they decided to form the government, whatever, not to give any one tribe a leg up over anyone else. English and Swahili was decided to be like the main languages that were taught in school, because there are a lot of languages that each tribe has their own mother language. So and the funny thing is that a lot of the younger generation, the women I were meeting were like in their 20s and their 30s, but primarily like in their mid to late 20s, early 30s or what have you. And they were telling me like, yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of the mother languages, the mother tribe languages, are kind of like are being forgotten, because the younger generation learning Swahili and English, they're not speaking their mother languages or what have you. Because Swahili is like kind of like a regional language, because in Tanzania they speak Swahili as well, and so as well as in Uganda, I heard they also speak Swahili. So it's beyond just Kenya itself. But yeah, they know Swahili, and a lot of them will ask me like, well, are you going to try to learn Swahili? You want to come here, live here, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I'm like, no. I don't feel like I'm not trying to, like, maybe a few words. I learned a few words. They would quiz me like, what Swahili words do you know? You know what I mean? And I knew a few of them. But for the most part, no, you don't. Everything is written in English. You can communicate with usually like the older people may not know English. Like I had at my Airbnb, the lady that I was renting my Airbnb from, she had a cleaning lady come like once or twice a week, and it was a couple of times I had to have the lady friends of mine actually translate to me, because like these women obviously didn't go to school, didn't have education or what have you, and they were, you could definitely tell they were like maybe they were at least later Gen Xers, if that even exists over there. They were in their in their late 40s, early 50s. You know what I'm saying? And they English, they really didn't understand me when I was talking or what have you. So they would have to talk to them in Swahili. But outside of that, and I would think like out in the villages or whatever, right? But outside of that, really you can move around. Everything's in English. It's not necessary. Yeah, would it be good to know? Because you never know if somebody, could be trying to set you up or what they're talking about or blah, blah, blah. But I didn't really run into any real, shady or shicey situation like that.
Okay, great breakdown, brother. Thank you. Next question for you, brother, is
How do you know, Cortez Smith? How do you know that other East Africans look better at it? Have you been to East Africa? Please come into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this cat probably sit at home. You know what I mean? Where has he been anywhere, dude? Please come into the chat. I really want to challenge what you're saying, bro. But go ahead.
Yo, Cortez, you better call in, brother. You better call in, man.
Please call in, bro.
Shout out to Conrad Grant for the $2 super chat. Shout out IP and the brother showing support, blessings. Thank you, Conrad Grant. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you. Next question for you, brother, is so I know for a fact that I would definitely see Black Kenyan women in Kenya, but when I see other races of women there in Kenya and other groups of Black women there in Kenya and in Nairobi specifically, if so, brother, can you break it down as to who I might see? Would it be Lebanese women? Would it be Brazilian women? Would it be Nigerian women? And are they all checking for brothers as well? Break it down, bro.
Man, I can't even tell you, dude. Like, I'll be honest with you. I didn't. As far as non-Black women, I didn't see too. I mean, I wasn't even interested. So they do have Asians there, right? So meaning like South Asians. There's Indians, Pakistanis, but that's out of bounds. Like that's out of bounds. That's not even remotely even like that community's so small. That's not. I never saw any.
It's not even that, bro. It's the fact that brothers aren't checking for them. Brothers are not checking for Indian women or Pakistani women, and they're not checking for us, and that's okay. Only 0.0.0.5% of brothers are checking for Indian women and Pakistani women. Keeping it a buck. Keeping it a buck, man.
I'm just trying to just think of the type of people that are in Kenya besides, Africans, right? And obviously I don't know all the different types of Africans. Like, you pretty much could tell the Ethiopian and the Somalian from a Kenyan. Like, that's pretty easy. But would I be able to say, what other Nigerians or South Africans or from some other, other countries, Malawians, you know what I mean, Rwandans, I don't have that discerning of an eye to get that granular and being able to tell that. As far as like Arab, and I definitely didn't see any Arabs there, but I know Lebanese people are there because they have businesses there. Like one of the major telecoms there is a Lebanese telecom company. But as far as like, there's Asian people there. There are Asian people, but it's not like Asian women. As far as interracial wise, the most that I saw was Kenyan women with white men. I saw a lot of that. A lot of black Kenyan women or Black women. Maybe they weren't Kenyan, but for the most part, I would assume they were Kenyan. I saw a lot of that. And only one time out of the 3 months that I was there, did I see a Black man with a white girl. One time was in a mall. One time that I can recall, maybe twice. But that really wasn't going on as much, as far as Black male to white women type thing. But as far as Black women to white men, a lot. And then what I noticed was usually, in my opinion, was mainly like dark-skinned Black women with white men, and the white men were quite like older and like unattractive. You know what I'm saying? So I think like it's a thing for them to go to Kenya, go to African countries, and get Black women. And like for instance, there's one sister that I'm talking to right now, her cousin, man. I mean, like super beautiful, dude, like super hot. You know what I mean? Any black man with black, yeah, she's on point. You know what I mean? And she was like with this dorky white dude. You know what I'm saying? She has two cousins. That are with white men back in, like, one is German, I think. I think one lives in the UK. So that's just a random, Kenyan woman that I know that I'm talking to right now. You know what I'm saying? That has, two female cousins. Like I said, one of her cousins is on point. Like, I was like, damn, she with this white boy. But I see why. You know what I'm saying? Like, they nerdy. They gonna do whatever. A lot of them are looking for a come up. I mean, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, because like I said, the economics are in that particular fashion. You know what I mean?
Okay, thank you, brother. Shout out to Joshua Epps for the $499 super chat. Shout out to IP and the homie from the D, my second home, Ann Harbor, Monroe, Inkster. That must be some Detroit areas. Shout out to the brothers out here who are from Detroit.
Yeah,
Detroit. Shout out to Detroit,
that's
man.
Michigan. Yeah, Southeast Michigan, Ann Arbor, Monroe, Inkster. Yeah, that's all Michigan cities.
Nice one, brother. Shout out to Joshua Epps. Shout out to Kingu Kitsune, the brother, for the $5 super chat. What's up, Kingu? How you doing, brother? When I go to Kenya, are the women like Elena from SF? Elena from SF? What's that?
I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah,
I don't know what that franchise is. SF is at San Francisco. Elena is that a television franchise, a TV show? I'm not for sure, man.
Stargate? No, SF, no. Let us know what you're referring to in the chat, Kingu, and I'll come back to this later one, okay, Kingu? Thank you, brother. Next question for you, bro, is
Street Fighter. Oh, Alina. Even so, I would have to look up who's Alina. I've been so far removed. That's like a second, third, fourth generation of Street Fighter. Like I don't remember who Alina is.
I ain't paid that in 2 decades, brother. So I don't even know who that is.
Exactly, man. I'm a Gen Xer, bro. I was playing that back when I was like 12, 13.
Next question for you, bro, is did you come across rich women in Nairobi, Kenya? And if so, how easy is it to meet rich women? And are those rich women checking for brothers, or do they only go after old white men?
So of the women that I met in Kenya, which were a lot, like I met well over 20 something women, well over 20. And during the 3 months that I was there, and there were only 2 that I can think of that basically, either there was one lady that actually had her own business. I found this out just through conversation. She even had her own. Here's one. She was the only one that had her own car. Most people don't own their own vehicle there, so most people, use the public transportation, which is basically like privately owned Toyota vans or minivans called matatus, or they get on the I'm forgetting the name that they call for, like motorcycle bikes or what have you. That's another form of transportation, and larger like charter buses or what have you. And then you have Uber there. There's Uber or what have you. Most people don't own vehicles. At least the people that I were interacting with weren't on, and she was the only one. I was actually surprised because she came to my place, and just for lunch we kicked it or what have you, and when I walked her down, I thought she actually arrived by Uber, and she was like, "No, I drove." I was like, "You drove?" And it was a fairly like new vehicle. It was like at least a 2020. You know what I'm saying? If not 2021. I'm trying to think the makeup. I think it was a Volkswagen. But nonetheless, it was a compact. But nonetheless, like I never met anyone with their own vehicle. She was the only one, and it was like towards the end of the time that I was there. And so come to find out, like I guess her parents had left her, had businesses. Both her parents were deceased, and they had businesses. She was running the business, and she was pretty much like she had siblings or what have you, but she was telling me she's like, the main head person, in her family and taking care of everything. I mean, obviously we met on the Tinder. She showed up, but like after that, I tried to I was like, try to schedule another, meet up with her, and she declined, or she was busy, or whatever the case may be. I was dealing with so many chicks, it really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, it was that much. It was so many women. Honestly, with so many women I was dealing with, dude. Like I couldn't deal with everybody. You know what I mean? I had so many freaking matches on Tinder. It was like a lot of them were reaching out to me, and I just couldn't. Whichever ones was giving me the most play, I was dealing with. I kind of got to the point to where it was like, where was it was diminishing returns, right? Trying to, go to a whole new setup, go through that rigmarole of meeting people. Then it was another. So anyway, so that's one. Then I met another female who she was she didn't have her own car, but she was a business partner. She basically was in the construction, which I was like, well, that's pretty much. I was like, wow, you in construction? Like what in construction? What it is? So she was a partner with a guy who was an architect, and she was sourcing like all of the materials to the buildings, because there's a lot of construction going on in Nairobi, a lot of apartment buildings that are being put up or what have you. And that's what she did. She sourced all of, so also they would have contractors and things of that nature that were on site to certain buildings that they had been like, which I guess maybe they had their section of that, that actual building, like or floor rise or whatever. Who knows how it's all contracted out. But her contractor, she was in charge of like getting materials and things of that nature. She would go and price it out, you know what I'm saying? So she was in a man's world, as a female, and she was, very attractive, you know what I mean? But she definitely was like, she was the closest I would say that was outwardly boss, chick type, you know what I'm saying? And then, she kind of gave me the run around as well. And we ultimately, I had to like, I had to put her in her place when I got back to the States. Me and her got into it. So, so yeah, man. So as far as like, as far as anyone like, because like, other than that, what I'm trying to say, like, other than that, everybody that I met a couple of other females that actually were employed, that actually had jobs or whatever. But most of the people I met, man, didn't have jobs, man. Like people didn't work. You know what I mean? Or if they worked in like the hospitality industry or whatever, which was all suffering because at that time, again, through Kenya took the COVID protocols like super, super, super freaking hard, way more than what I saw in the United States, where, when you walked into anytime you walked into any building, you got your temperature checked. You had to freaking, sanitize. You had to be maxed up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot, and so when I got there, businesses were closing, bars and stuff like that were closing, restaurants were closing at like 9:00 at night. They had illegal ones that were open. I went to a few clubs that were, after hours or what have you, a few times, but for the most part, it pretty much shut their whole economy down. So a lot of, schools, I was with a girl who that I knew a girl. She was teaching. She was teaching at a private school, but they weren't paying her. You know what I mean? They hadn't paid her like in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like this was typical. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't like, oh, you just one type of people. Like this was like pretty much their whole swath of their economy. No matter where you were impacted by COVID-19. So yeah. As far as I didn't hobsnob, but and I also, like I said, I wasn't really going to a lot of places like high-end bars and clubs and things where I might run into these type of women, because again, that really wasn't open. It was basically like my whole thing was Netflix and chill damn near half the time I was there, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like just come on through, chill out. You know what I mean? Maybe we meet at the mall first, and afterwards they feel comfortable, they come back to the crib. You know what I mean? And do that. So I didn't really run into like a lot of women that had means. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, again, maybe my view was skewed based on who I was dealing with for the most part. But just based on what I saw, like I don't really see that opportunity for women. Like I said, women really weren't in those type of professions where they just had their own money like that. Like that was rare. You know what I'm saying? Out of the 30 something women that I probably talked to and engaged and interacted with, no one had like corporate type jobs. Like that was like that's not really common amongst people. Either they work for the government or they worked at a hotel, or you see what I'm saying? Like they just didn't have those type of businesses, man, or they weren't in that type of position to even do something like that. Or be of that type of class, so to speak. I think that still is pretty much uncanny. I'm really more a male dominated space.
Thanks for that, bro. A lot of you brothers are simply immature. I don't know what you think this is. This isn't some primary school, junior high school playground. So, like I said, if you want to troll, talk nonsense, you will get banned. And so, goodbye to John Wallace, who has been trolling for a couple of days now, and reminds me of Aaron B. Maybe I don't know, but he's gone now. When you start saying things like he looks like someone, he starts saying he's drinking the Kool-Aid, throwing shots. I'm gonna ban you. I told you, don't disrespect our guests on this platform. It's not happening. All right. So goodbye, John Wallace. I'll be on the lookout for anyone who wants to troll and try and pop ish on my channel. It's not happening. So next question for you, brother, is jealousy against Western black men, particularly those of who are UK black men and American black men.
Mhm.
Obviously, we get a lot of attention because we come from the West. We
Right.
have more resources, where we look more clean
Mhm.
cut, keeping it real. No disrespect to my African brothers. Um, did you face jealousy from Kenyan men based on women, based on you being an American man, you having more women than them? Break it down for us, bro.
I would say on the surface, no. On the surface, no. I didn't. Other times that I would deal with, it wasn't like I had a lot of like Kenyan men that I was interacting with to really gauge that per se, but through the women that I were dealing with. So I don't know if I want to get into story time, but that's up to you if you want me to elaborate. Um, I had a few situations. Well, let's say this. I had one situation where so while I was there, I had two residences. One I was in this one place, this one apartment. It was called Kilauea. I'm sorry, the name of the city was called Kilauea. The name of apartment I can't even remember anymore. But anyway, it was more so like a family area. You know what I mean? It was well, first and foremost, like if you ever been to Africa, everything is like gated. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's house is gated. Any type of apartment complex are gated. You have the private security lets you in and out, and like honestly, like I never had really any problem with most of the security guards. So when I had chicks come over, a lot of times, I had multiple chicks come over, you know what I'm saying? Like it was really no big issue or no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Not in the beginning, I guess it wasn't. Then I guess, I had like maybe I moved into this place in March 10th. March 10th of 2021. It was a small, what they call a little a DSQ, basically a designated service quarters, because over in Africa as well. Again, because of the economy, how the economy is, most people in the middle class or the professional class, they have people who come and work for them. You know what I'm saying? In-house maids, things of that nature. They're there 5-6 times a week. You know what I'm saying? 5-6 days a week. In some cases they want the person to like live on premises or give them a place on premises. So the way this apartment complex was set up, every major house had a attached DSQ. So the girl that I was the girl that I was renting the DSQ from, come to find out, I'll find this out later, she was renting from the main person. So the main person's house, right? And this guy was, a guy who would come back and forth. He had family members and things of that there. I guess the neighbor complained. The neighbor across the hall from him complained to the security guard. You know what I mean? One of the security guards to me, and so they actually had the phone number to the girls who was renting the apartment out. The little small apartment to me. And so she was like, hey, look, you're going to have to, maybe I should move you to another spot. People are complaining and things of that nature. I'm like, what? I'm like nobody. I mean, besides, like I said, I wasn't really making any noise, so to speak. This was all a brick. The whole construction was brick. It wasn't like thin walls. Like maybe you could have like in certain apartments here in the States where, you could really hear. This was, and I didn't play music or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Occasionally there was no balcony, so occasionally, like I'm talking about like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, I would go out and have a smoke or what have you in the front, the front aisle that would lead up to it or whatever. And so anyway, make a long story short, man, I had to move. I ended up having to move from the place. And me and the girl got into a big issue because the guy that she was renting it from, he did not allow her to sublease. So actually I was about to move. Actually, the day before I was about to move, the guy that owns the place, he happened to be there and he knocked on my door, and I was there with my two female friends, and he knocked on the door and he's like, he's like, look, sir, can you bring it down? I'm like, bro, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, nobody. I said, we don't even have the television on. We're just sitting here talking, just regular, just normal level talking. What do you? So I was frustrated, I was so frustrated at this point because it's like the thing was I was making noise or whatever the case may be. I'm like, man, this is people talking. Like, what do you mean? I hear people all over talking. He's like, yeah, he's like, so he got to the, he's like, so according to the lady, she said that Lynette, that was her name. She was like, you are our business colleague or whatever. I said, no, I'm renting this place out. He said, you're renting this place out. He was like, oh, okay. She didn't tell me that. So that's when I find out that she wasn't allowed to sublease to me. So, she was giving him the runaround. She, what I'm saying? So make a very, very, very long story short, it was decided. I went ahead and found the other place where I ended up staying the rest of my 2 months from. And so I had until the 10th to leave because the guy was like, Lynette wanted me to try to leave by the beginning of the month, which is April. And so he was like, no, you paid your time. You paid your money for 30 days. You'll stay till 30 days. And I was like, well, okay, well, cool. Can I rent from you? He was like, no, he wasn't trying to have it. He was like, no, you got to find somewhere else. So I found somewhere else. And so, so I found my place. So I got the keys for the new place on the 7th. I had to be out by the 10th, which was like a Saturday. So my plan was I was going to just move my things that I had there, to the new place. And so I had went and, orchestrated, got all that done. I had a, taxi come, when I say taxi, it was an Uber to come that was big enough to move some of my stuff because I was going to do it just gradually over the days and be done by the time that Saturday. So the security, as soon as I'm packed up everything, the security guard comes up to me and was like, hey, you can't leave. You can't leave anything. I'm like, what do you mean I can't?
Hold on, brother. Let's go to another question now.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, my bad.
Thanks for that, bro.
Yeah. So what it had to do with the topic, he was, he was being really shady, dude. That's what I'm saying. And the only thing, maybe it was jealousy, maybe it was that was the whole point that I was trying to make out of that. But outside of that, man, I really didn't run into that too much at all. Nobody trying to hate on me in a club or when I was bringing girls back or anything like that. They was usually pretty much cool, man, or they didn't say anything.
Okay, thanks for that, brother. Next question for you, bro, is let's see. Dealing with different women at once. How easy is it to have a main chick and side chicks on the side to deal with as well? Is that acceptable amongst Kenyan women, or do you have to hide that from your main chick? Briefly speak on that, bro.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to hide that at all, man. I mean, I was pretty that to me is the main plus dealing with Kenyan women because it's widely accepted that men are going to have other women. You know what I mean? That's not even no, the chick doesn't even bat an eye at that. In fact, because I wanted to make it perfectly clear that what I'm saying, I had a wife back at home, you know what I'm saying, and that I'm not monogamous. I actually had that in my profile, and I didn't even stunt my matches on my profile by me saying I'm looking for a second wife, so on and so forth, this and that. I still was getting the same matches. The girl that I already had pregame before I even left, so I had women that I was already talking to before I even left. And they knew that ahead of time, you know what I'm saying? That I had a wife here in the States, you know what I'm saying? And blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So I never had, they was like, okay, now, of course, when the rubber hits the road, a couple of the colors started showing, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, just on the surface of them accepting it, nah, man, I didn't have to lie about that at all whatsoever, dude. You know what I mean? And it was hey, it was time for them to leave, you know what I mean? It was okay, well, they had to go home, and then I was, maybe just calling the next one up or whatever. In fact, for a little while, I actually had two. I actually had, you know what I'm saying, two of them meet each other, you know what I mean? Because I had gotten kind of really serious with two, and we both met at a cafe, and then, you know what I'm saying, we had lunch, and then the girls hung out. And they left and they came back, you know what I mean? And we was rocking hard for a good 2 weeks. Everything was good for a good 2 weeks. And then, that jealousy thing started coming out where, this, I'm hearing this from this one, I'm hearing that from this one, or whatever, blah blah blah, you know. But it wasn't like no fighting type thing, you know what I'm saying, or no ratchet. It was the type of thing that you expect to have when you're dealing with two women at the same time. But yeah, we was going out, we was doing stuff together. It was on point for a little while, man. You know, it was the bomb for a second. Like as far as like it was no issues or anything like that, man. But yeah, no, they're really open. You know, they're open to that. You know what I'm saying? It's part of their culture. Is, you know, it's not like like a crazy concept, or, you know, an automatic no from a woman or whatever. If you told them that, you know, you have a wife, or, you know, that you're into polygamy, or that's what you're about, you know what I'm saying? You know, in fact, a lot of them was curious. It was like, you know, for real, and, you know, they wanted to know more about it, and, you know what I'm saying? It was, yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, brother. Next question for you, bro, is let's see on the list. Body count. In your opinion, do Kenyan women have a high body count in Nairobi?
Yeah, man, I was like, this is the part where I'm saying, as far as Westernism, right? Like, yeah, I would just assume that they do.
What?
I would just assume that they do, man. Like, you know, like I just would automatically assume that, man. Because like I said, women are in the clubs, women go out, you know what I mean? Like, why would it be any different than anywhere else? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't ever assume that somebody's, you know, pure and virgin, and, you know what I'm saying, and they don't, you know, I'm only messing with you type thing. Like, I'm not that naive, bro. You know what I mean? You know, like, yeah, that's what I would assume. You know what I mean?
Oh, that just killed the vibe.
I'm just telling you, that's just what I would assume, bro. I mean, look, man, I ain't nobody special, man, and I'm smashing it down, like, you know, within like maybe if not the same night or the other night, bro. So, you know, come on, man. Obviously, this ain't her first go around, dog. You know what I mean? Like, for real, you know, seriously. Now, is it again? I can't say, you know, is it like what like, is it super out of control? Like, you know, like chicks would be here back in the States. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. But then again, you know, you never know, dude. Like, I don't know. You know, I never know, dog. Yeah. I couldn't tell. You know, that's the part. What I'm trying to say is like Westernism. You know what I'm saying? It's just like over in the States or what have you, man.
Okay, thanks for that, bro. Shout out to hold on, brother. Shout out to Mr. Sean Camp for the £9 cash app. Thank you, bro, for supporting the channel. Much appreciated, Sean Camp. You're a legend, brother. Thank you. Let's see. Shout out to the brother King Deasley Mac for the 35 ZAR super chat. He says, any insights on Tanzanian women living in Kenya? Because I've heard some Kenyan women say that they are more traditional and tend to make better wives. Can you speak on that, bro, real quick?
So the only Tanzanian chick that I know of that I met was the third chick that I met, and she wasn't traditional, bro. She wasn't traditional, man. She was the third chick. I remember, man, she had a bad body though. She had a bad body, but so the story about her. So I had already met her. Like I said, I already had pregame like 2 or 3 chicks before I even went over there. And she was one of them. And so literally she was the second chick that I messed with when I was there. So she had came over. You know, I called her up. We were supposed to go get something to eat. But it was closed. We were supposed to go to some restaurant, but it was closed. It was in a hotel and it was closed. And because again, like I told you, like it was curfew. Curfew was like 10 o'clock at that time. So, you know, bars and restaurants were closing at 9. So it was like around 8 or so when we even by the time she even got to my place. Because I was staying in a hotel when I first got there. First 7 days I was staying in a hotel. So anyways, so I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm like, you know, thinking that she's gonna go back home or whatever. And she was like, no, we can go get something to eat and take it back to the crib. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you're not going back to the house? Or she's like, no, it's curfew. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm spending the night. I said, okay. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? So, you know, so we sat there, we got, you know, I had some drinks, you know what I mean? I smoke cigarettes and she smoked cigarettes. She drank. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not traditional. That's like straight up just Westernism, And so, anyways, make a long story short, man. I banged it or whatever. I closed the deal, and so after that, she wanted to hook up one night, and she wanted me to come over to her place. She's like, "Yeah, you can come over to my place." But I was busy because I was looking for an actual permanent place. The place I was in was only going to be for 7 days, and I had some Muslim chicks, some Muslim sisters that were assisting me in doing so. And when I got back, this one particular day, it was like Monday. She wanted me to come over, and I had gotten back, and I got back too late. It was like 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, I just got back. You know what I mean? Maybe we could do something, for the weekend or something like that. She was like, no, you were supposed to come over today. And, I'm like, well, I mean, I could come over if you want, but I didn't think you want me to come over this late at night. You know what I'm saying? And she was, so she was like, no, that's okay, blah, blah, blah. So then, she just acted really really weird after that. You know what I'm saying? So she tried to hook up with me a couple of more times. But again, I was seeing so many different chicks, but I just didn't, she wasn't really a priority. You know what I'm saying? And so she got mad about, that. And so she just stopped contacting me, and I just stopped contacting her. You know what I mean? Because that's how I was. It's like how I differentiated between which women I was going to deal with was the ones that was giving me the most attention. Like somebody, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I differentiated. If I felt like, okay, you was feeling me, then yeah. But if you felt like I needed to chase you, like no, I wasn't doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? There was no need for me to. Like why? Why I'm gonna put up all that effort? You know what I'm saying? So eventually, though, when I got to the place, the second place, I ended up calling her, and she was pissed. She was mad. She was like, "You forgot about me. I think you hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. I thought you just used me or anything like that." I'm like, "No, I tried to." The funny thing is that I tried to set up something with her, and it kind of fell through. I had some other things that came through, and so it fell through. And I tried to reschedule, and I guess she was salty. And she just kind of went radio silent. So I went radio silent with her, man. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I ended up calling her back, trying to get her attention or whatever. And so she had me come over to the crib and everything, man. I spent the night over at her place or what have you. But then she was bugging out, dude. She was acting like she was all fuddy-duddy, man. I was like, man, as soon as the morning time, came, I just bounced, dude. I just left, and that was it. I ain't never say nothing to her. She ain't never say nothing to me. So I'm like, how you gonna come all the way over here? Now you acting funny style. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, as far as traditional, I wouldn't call that traditional at all. I was just like some of the same stuff you're dealing with in the Matrix, man. It was a lot of that, man. It was no different than, kind of the stuff you deal with over here, like with chicks, faking the move and and wanting you to chase them and things of that nature. So no, that's the only Tanzanian chick that I mess with, dude. But yeah, she was bad though. On as far as like, body wise go, she had the yams. She had the yams, bro. You know what I'm saying? She was definitely on point, no doubt about it.
Okay, thanks for that, brother. Next question for you, bro, is do you consider them to be wifeable, Kenyan women?
Man, just depends, man. Just you got to sort out, like, as being an American, right? Everyone's looking at you as a cash grab. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And so, in order to you would have to vet them over a period of time and see if what is it really you? You know what I mean? Or is it really like, okay, I can see what I can get from this particular person. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying it's not possible because, I'm dealing with women still to this day. Like I purchased my ticket to go over. I'm going back over in January, late January. I'm gonna be there for about 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So, I do have a main chick that I really rock with, and she's been hella loyal. But, again, man, you never know. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I mean, it's been since March of this year going into next year. You know what I'm saying? I trusted enough that I left my things because I didn't bring up. So I was working over there. So I didn't have I wasn't like I was on vacation the whole time, but because I'm in IT and I work from home and I can work remotely, I can do my job anywhere where there's internet. You know, I brought my monitors, I brought, you know, a lot of my equipment, you know what I'm saying? I brought a lot of different things. And it cost me like extra $500 to bring my stuff, you know, but beyond the 2 bags that you're allowed. I wasn't trying to bring all of that back, you know what I mean? Because I don't need it to work, you know what I'm saying? Something that makes me work. It makes my job, ability to work better, but it's not necessary. And I can always buy monitors and stuff like that here. So, I felt comfortable enough with her to leave my stuff with, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we communicate like damn near every day. But again, man, like I can't say just right off the bat, yes, you can just marry them and blah blah blah. You have to kind of vet them out, just like how you will any other woman, and see like really what it is. Are they really rocking with you or they not? You know what I'm saying? And and I kind of feel like she's rocking with me because she's been with me with multiple chicks, you know what I'm saying? And like multiple, like she's been down with me, you know what I mean? And having these chicks flip on her and everything, and me having to like break it up with other chicks or whatever because they could see that I was really feeling her like that, and so she's still rocking with me even through that,
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you, brother. Next question for you, brother, is let's go. Give me 1 second, brother. How easy? So, if I was to bring a Kenyan woman back to the US or UK, will she adopt to Western ways or will she keep a Kenyan culture? What do you think, bro?
I would think she would adopt to Western ways because, like I said, they're not that far off from it. From what I've seen, it's just they just don't have the same ability to materialize everything because of the financial situation over there. You know what I'm saying? So they're not that far. I wouldn't do it. And every woman I spoke to, I honestly tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to get together, it would be that you would be here in Kenya, you know what I'm saying? And I would be coming back and forth. Like, I have no intention for bringing you back. Like, that's not, remotely going to happen. Now, with, again, whether they was just saying that to please me, saying, oh, yeah, they were cool with that and they didn't mind. They weren't trying to come to the States. That's like, they could be just saying that just to say it in my ear. Who knows? But I don't give a damn whether they were saying it or not. That's for real. Like, that's how I feel. I'm not doing that. I've already done it twice, with the South African and the Eritrean. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing it, dude. Like, no, absolutely not. I don't care how pious you are whatsoever. So, no, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for nobody. No, any country for that matter. Keep them where they're at, man.
Yeah, thanks for that, brother. The next question for you, brother. Are Kenyan women conservative or liberal in their thinking?
I would say they're conservative where it benefits them. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of, like, it's very much. I even had a chick tell me this. One of the times, like, she was asking me for money, and I was just like no. like, I'm like no. Like, why are you asking me for money? Like no. And so what she stated was, she was like, over here, and African men take care of their women and blah blah blah. She was trying to pull that line. So that would be like a conservative feature, right? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think it's just more so in order to benefit them, man. Again, they definitely are sexually liberalized. They're definitely sexually liberal, because they're out there, like I said, going to clubs. They're out there, you know what I'm saying? Doing the things that you would see women do here in the States do, as far as that is concerned, or what have you. If you did marry them, they will want you to go through the traditional, marriage or whatever. Go to their parents, pay the dowry or whatever that would constitute or what have you. So in that sense, yeah, they still are tied to their, culture in that sense or what have you. But they're very much westernized. Like, they listen to hip hop. They listen to, you know what I'm saying? They know all of the different American slang and everything. It's a westernized country in that sense, man. So yeah, I would think it would be kind of both, like,
okay.
Both.
Thanks for that, brother. Next question for you, bro, is brothers, feel free to hit the cash app, hit the super chat, brothers. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, brothers. Religion. What religion do Kenyan women mostly follow? Is it Christianity, Islam, Catholic.
it's mainly Christianity. That's the main religion there in the country. But there's a significant amount of Muslims there as well, But most of the women that I dealt with over there were Christian for the most part,
Okay, brother. And social media, is social media a problem amongst Kenyan women, brother?
Yeah. I mean, it's they're on Instagram, they're on Snapchat, they have all of those social medias over there. They do the same, they're on Instagram. They post stuff on Instagram. I'm not really a big Instagram person. I really just started really using it. So even while I was there, I didn't use it that much. But yeah, Facebook, they're on Facebook or what have you. Yeah, it's all in between. It's the same thing. It's the same thing over here.
Okay, thanks for that, bro. Next question for you is: are Kenyan women submissive in your opinion?
I would say, well, I would say so. You know what I mean? Like if granted, you're in your masculine frame. You know what I mean? Like I said, even amongst what I was to glean or witness how Kenyan women act with Kenyan men. I like I said, I never saw any Kenyan women ever come out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like none of the stuff that you normally see here in the States. Like I routinely see that in the States. Let's say you go to a club or something like that. You would here in the States, you see it's nothing for a woman to yell at a guy, slap, hit, that type of stuff. I've been in situations that like that myself or what have you, or just overly aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Or you even actually have, lesbianism, you know what I mean? You got like, BDs or what have you. No, you're definitely not going to see that, or what have you. Yeah, man, they definitely, like the ones I dealt with, everyone, they was cool. Like I said, and everything flowed. It was never any like, back and forth, yip yapping, where I had to be like, arguing or whatever the case may be. None of that, dude. Like none of that. There's been a few times where, I kind of, like I had to no, like chill out, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, that was about it, and it was mainly because dealing with, something that one of them did with the other girls in relation to the other girls, where I had to step in and had to, you know what I'm saying? But like, yo, no, that's not cool what you just did right now. I was hella disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, no, they shut up and they just, you know what I'm saying? They was quiet,
Okay. Thanks for that, brother. Are clubs and bars an avenue to meet good Kenyan women, or those the avenues to meet fetish Kenyan women for the streets? Keep it real, bro. Is it really recommended to?
Yeah, I would definitely say thoughtish. I would definitely say that's where, to meet them. Yeah, it's not you're not gonna meet any church girls. I mean, you might. Let me back that up. You're not probably gonna meet any really like virgins or really true and sacred type women in bars and clubs. No, I wouldn't say that, because they party. That's another thing too that I was kind of say. Kenya has a real strong drinking culture. Like they drink a lot, both the men and the women. Like that's something really big for them, is drinking. And so that kind of tells you that right there. You know what happens when people drink a lot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really wide and strong there.
Okay, thanks for that, bro. Next question for you, brother, is so one of the best places to meet women in Nairobi, Kenya, is in the parks. Is it through a friend? Is it in the gym? What's the best places to actually meet decent Kenyan women in Nairobi, brother?
I don't know, man. Because I was meeting most of the women I was meeting off of Tinder. Like that was my main plug. If I was, I guess maybe church or the masjid. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, but even then, like I had 2 run-ins with Muslims while I was there, bro. Like, and I'm thinking that these are Muslim women, you know, and I'm Muslim, and you know, and I wasn't even like trying them like that, and they got me over some money, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I was trusting them. I was actually like turning down other women who were Christian that was like willing to help me look for places, and come to find out, this one was the Somali sister, man, got me for like for some money, dude. You know what I mean? And so like man, you know, I honestly, man, hey, your guess is good as mine when it comes to that. You know, it's just you got to use your intuition and so on and so forth. You know, I guess, and just let time pass and see what you see. You know what I mean? Test out, see what you see what's real.
Okay, thank you, brother. The next question for you, bro, is online dating. Did you use online dating out there in Tinder? If so, what apps? Oh, sorry, did you use online dating out there in Kenya? If so, what apps did you use? What apps were successful for you? And what was your success rate with online dating?
Yeah, the only app that I ever used was Tinder. That was it, and it was hella successful. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like it was hella successful. So yeah, and like I said, I got the notion from O'Shea Duke Jackson. He was talking about, you know, matching. You know, he had mentioned in his broadcast that he had, you know, he was matching a lot based on like 80%. You know, and he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying, man. So yeah, I think all you need is 10. To be honest with you, that's all you really need is 10.
Okay, thank you, brother. Next question, brother, is let's see, what's the STD and STI rates in Kenya? Is it very high there, bro?
So I knew that you were going to ask this question, so you know I had to go ahead and look it up, man. So I got it here, right here. It says Kenya has a generalized HIV epidemic with the prevalence among 15 to 49-year-olds estimated to be 5.9% in 2015 and 4.9% in 2018. In 2017, Kenya was ranked third among Eastern and Southern African countries in the estimated number of new HIV infections among age adults between 15 and older. So that's the range. I believe. What was another statistic I was looking at? It was stating here's Wikipedia, so you take it for what it's worth. I think what was the number? So out of a country of like 50 something million people, in 2017 they had like 1.5 million Kenyans were living with HIV. You know, I mean, you know, to me that's not like super high. You know, so
What about like the other STDs, STIs like chlamydia and all that stuff?
Yeah, all that good stuff, right? So there was a study that was done among female sex workers, and even amongst female sex workers, it was like, and that's the most risky population. It was like chlamydia was like 9%. It was like, you know, low digit, it was below, all of them were like below 10%, and that's amongst the most riskiest population in the country. So it wasn't really high, to be honest with you. I personally went, you know, I tested myself twice before I left Kenya, all in, you know, every 3 months. So when so there's another thing, like you can get home HIV tests. You can get done. You can purchase from the chemist, what they call a chemist, or what we would call a pharmacy, over the counter for like $10 a piece, and you can get that done, you know, right then and you know you can do those. And it's real simple, and it'll give you you know, at least you know, let you know, hey, this person has HIV right now, type thing, right? I mean, so I did one in March, like March when I was there, then I also did one in June. And then since I've been back home, I did one in September. So every 3 months I've been doing, you know, making sure that I was doing, getting myself tested or whatever, been negative each and every time. Yeah. So as with anything, there's always risk, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's, you know.
Okay, thanks for that, brother. Shout out to Brasilio Ross Shelton for the $15 super chat. Thank you, brother, for the support. Much appreciated, bro. Hello, IP. Hello to all the brothers down for the cause. Pardon me. Showing my cause here, catching up on past streams, loving it all. Thank you for the kind words, brother. I love the fact that you're enjoying it. Thank you, brother. Next question for you, brother, is let's see. Are Kenyan women materialistic?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
dear.
Yeah. So here's let's say I ran into those that were. You know what I mean? Now at the same time, many weren't, because I'm telling you, most of the women I messed with, it was Netflix and chill, and they had no problem with that. You know what I mean? They had no problem with that. But what I did find though, they definitely if you deal with them like I would think most women would do, but they're more inclined than like maybe Western women are. If you deal with them, they are going to expect for you. They're going to give you the sob story. Hey, my mother was sick. Hey, this happened. Can I borrow? Can I borrow this amount? Blah blah blah. This type of thing, so on and so forth. Tell you a little sob story or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to be expecting you to like I said, it's not direct. Like hey, outside of the few, like I said, I gave you three indications where it was pay for play, like straight up. But you get with them and be like, oh, could you give me some money so I can have some food or something like that? It's like that. You know what I mean? It's a developing country. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like the two chicks that I was with, one of the ones that I got in that I had to like kind of separate my ways with, like she wasn't asking for anything, so to speak, but I would treat her out like, hey, I went and got my hair cut, and they have nail salons and barbershops all together in the same thing. And one of her nails was like jacked up. So I was like, yeah, you go ahead and get it fixed. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, it just always seemed like she would take an inch. I give her an inch, and it was always a mile. You know what I'm saying? It was always like, okay, I do something on my own fruition without her asking me or anything. But then it was always followed up with, hey, could you give me some money for go when I go home? I need to, get this for my kids or whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I had a few times where like this, it was one date that I went on with a girl I met. And very first day we came, got again, because you couldn't eat at the restaurants. We had to bring it back to my house. So it was like some chicken or whatever, man. It was nothing fancy at all. We come back to the house, watch the movie or what have you. And she was telling me about how she didn't know what she was going to do because she had lost her job and the rent was due, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So I'm like, yeah, I hope you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like we hadn't even slept together or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like I'll be damned. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Like a week or so go by, she like, checking, hey, how you doing? Seeing how you was doing, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Could you help me with, I'm really frustrated. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, no, not really. I got my own things I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to, I had to block her, dude. I had like the straight block her. And I've had ones where I met on Tinder, right away, within like not even 5 minutes of conversating on Tinder, they're asking me to send money. I need this, I need that. So it was a lot of that, dude. Just it was a lot of dealing with that, and just be like, okay, no, block, 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 block. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're definitely materialistic in that sense. But is it on the same? To me, it's like slow scale, man. It's like it's not on the same scale as like in the West. You know what I'm saying? Like in a more industrialized nation like the UK or the United States, it's like on a lower level. It's more like it's a subsistence level, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like on that level, So it's
okay. Thanks for that, bro. Next question for you, brother, is tell us in your opinion what the bad parts are about Kenyan women, in your opinion.
Just what I just explained, man. The bad parts is they're looking, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are looking for a come up, you know what I mean?
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's right, brother. Sorry, yeah. You did explain it before. Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
I like being, my apologies, brother. Cold approaching. Did you cold approach Kenyan women, brother, or did they cold approach you? If so, What was your success rate in cold approaching Kenyan women?
I didn't cold approach. I'm trying. I'm I was looking at the questions previously that you asked people, and I was trying to think of I was trying to think really, really hard. Did I cold approach anyone? Okay, the one chick that the one I'm still in contact with now. She was the only one that I did not meet on Tinder. Actually, actually, a friend of associate of hers, she actually hooked me up with her. So I don't know if that still isn't a cold, because that's kind of like a lukewarm lead, right? So no, I never cold approached anyone. Everything was all through Tinder. Like every time, like almost all the women that I met through Tinder, and like the response rates was like so hard, so strong. It was, I would match and immediately they would be contacting me. You know what I mean? I didn't have to like contact them. And a lot of them, because I'm in Kenya, some of them, they were, a lot of them didn't know that I was American. Like sometimes they didn't know I was American, you know what I'm saying? So they were just contacting me off of that, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually, I get the story out. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're not Kenyan?" I'm like, "No, I'm not Kenyan." So it was funny. Sometimes I got told that I looked American, I looked like I was from somewhere else, and then sometimes I got told that no, I look Kenyan, or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, like I didn't, anytime I matched, I pretty much, didn't have to like go after anyone. I would match and not talk to, what I'm saying? I'll match and, I would get several matches within like, let's say maybe 2 or 3 a day or something like that. And a lot of times I just, if they didn't contact me, I definitely didn't write them. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't write unless I really found them attractive. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I would match and then they would reach out to me first. And that kind of helped me like kind of weed out who am I going to spend my time, because I had a limited amount of time, right? So who I'm, so that was it, man. I didn't cold approach at all. Everything was through Tinder, and most of the time they were reaching out to me.
Fantastic. Thank you, brother. Next question for you, brother, is let's see. How should men dress out there in Nairobi, Kenya? Do we wear the hip hop attire, G Unit sneakers, oversized 3XL white tees with quarter wearing jeans? Or do we come out there in a suit? Or do we come out there wearing normal shirt, dress suits, and chinos? How should we dress out there, bro?
I dress, my style is business casual, man. For the most part, I wear polo shirts. I had, khaki shorts, because it's a warm climate, so I really didn't wear any long pants while I was there. I wear gym shoes, which I had a couple of pairs of Air Force Ones or what have you. So I don't dress I don't dress in hip hop attire, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And a baseball cap. You know what I'm saying? Like just like the one I have now. Like straight up, man. That's this is my style, and nothing fancy, nothing crazy or anything like that, man. And yeah, it worked for me, man. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? It worked for me, dude. That's what I was, when I say I was truthfully, I was myself, man. Like 100%, dude. I was myself. I'm always myself, either or. I don't have any. I don't act it from a mindset of the scarcity mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a problem with women here in the States, for the most part. So I could talk. I could express myself. I'm not. I don't really care what women think or don't think. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like, hey, it's my program or no. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I'm not arrogant or anything like that. But well, some people can tell when somebody is has are I won't say competent. I want to say arrogant, but competent. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was it, dude. That's
okay. Thanks for that, brother. Next question for you, brother, is shout out to Eric Powell for the $10 super chat for my UK brethren. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated, Eric Powell. Not seen your name here before, so if you're a new brother, welcome. Shout out to Eric Powell again for the $5 super chat. He says, John, what high school did you go to? John?
No, I'm not John. I'm Gerard. I don't know if he was talking to somebody in the in the chat, but
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's talking to John Wallace by blockchain.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so as far well, if you just wanted to know, I didn't go to a high school in Detroit. I mean, through K through 8, I went through kindergarten through 8th grade, I went to Detroit public schools. But in when I from 9th to 12th, excuse me, I went to Lincoln Park High School, which is in a city that's like right outside of Detroit in the area called Downriver. A lot of Downriver communities. So I went to school in Downriver. I was, at that particular point in time, I was one of few Black kids that were going to that school. Now that school is predominantly Black and Hispanic, but when I was going there from 93 to 97, it was predominantly white. So I've experienced being a minority, at least from the age of 13. So, and dealing with white people in that particular way. And then I joined the military, and also I'm in a corporate field now. I've been working for one of the major auto companies here in the Detroit area. That's what brought me back to this area. But yeah, I went to Lincoln Park High School, man. If you wanted to know. Oh, you went to Cass Tech. That's what's up. Technician, man. Technician. I root for you guys. But King, I kind of root for King a little bit more than the technicians, man.
Okay, thanks for that, bro. Shout out to Eric Powell for the $5 super chat. Gerald, my bad. I went to Cass Tech. I know where Lincoln Park is. Awesome. Nice one, brother. Thank you, Eric Powell, for the super chats, brother. Much appreciated, bro. Next question for you, brother, is nightlife. In general, is a Nairobi nightlife vibrant? Is it good, brother? Do you recommend brothers to go there, have a good time? Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, so the little bit that I was able to see, because like I say, when I say little bit, it was little. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when I got there, it was it was at the height of COVID. Just now, like I want to say, not even a month ago or maybe 2 months ago, they the government let up on all of the COVID restrictions as far as like clubs having to close and bars and restaurants having to close at 10 o'clock. So when I got there, it was 10 o'clock, and then it went to 8 o'clock, and then it went back to 10 o'clock. Now there is none. So during the time that I was there, I went out a few times to a couple of different bars, nightclubs. Like the first nightclub that I ever went to was in a business center or what have you, like on the top floor, one of the upper floors, right? And it was late night, you know what I mean? Like they stayed up past curfew, and the thing is like you if you went in, you had to stay until morning time because of the curfew was basically from like 10 o'clock to like 5 a.m. and no one was supposed to be moving at that particular time. Excuse me. No one's supposed to be moving. So if you went to this club, you had to stay there, you know what I'm saying, till like early in the morning. And so the lady that I went there with, you know what I mean, obviously she knows this place. This is literally like, I got there on a Thursday. This is Saturday. So I got there on a Thursday. Saturday we went out. So I went to a few restaurants that have hookahs or what have you. So that they play, like, as far as the music, it's Afro beats, it's hip hop. I met another lady, right, that she actually hosts an outdoor venue that but it was mainly for like older people. And so it was another thing that was pretty funny to me. Was that in Kenya, for whatever reason, country music is like popular, even amongst like the young people. And so they're singing like Kenny Rogers songs. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? like, so I went. So this one lady, this one other girl, she's a host at this. It's an outdoor patio. Like basically, it's an outdoor area. You know what I mean? It had like patio tables and things of that nature, and it was open from like 12 in the afternoon till curfew. I want to say like 7 or 8 at night. It was open till then. And so like I went one day to like hang out with her while she was hosting this particular club, and mainly it was like older gentlemen that went there, but it would be like younger people there too. And she knew the DJs and all, because obviously they work together, what have you. and they played some hip hop or whatever, but for the most part, they played country music. And I was just like, oh my God, dude, having to sit there and listen to that for as long as I did. And then and so, but the funny thing was, the night before I went with her, I met her at a club, at a club or what have you. And again, it was like all, young people. It was all young people, and freaking they were, you know what I'm saying? They like literally, I never saw a black person play an accordion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they was like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I got video and everything, dude. Like it was like a young guy. They was going at it. Like I had to record it. I'm like, I've never seen this in my life. You know what I'm saying? And like, dude was just like wearing street clothes, like, because they dress like we dress. You know what I'm saying? Like they definitely dress like, how black people in the UK and so on. So they wear, jeans, skinny jeans, you know what I'm saying, shirts, you know what I'm saying, just like that. Like, you would think this would be like a club anywhere in the States or in the UK or whatever the case may be. But when I met, my man broke out the accordion and he started, and they was getting down, dude. They was doing a little dance, all around it.
Thank you, brother.
I was wilding out. But anyways, go ahead.
Thank you, brother. Next question for you, brother, is what's the ratio of women to men in Nairobi, Kenya? Is it more women than men? Is it 50-50? Or unfortunately more men than women?
I don't know, man.
That's
I don't know. It didn't seem like it was like overly more women than there were guys. I'm trying to think of the few times that I did go in, like I was in the social setting or what have you. Were there more women than there were guys? It seemed pretty mixed for the most part. When, like I said, the few times that I actually got to go out or what have you, like to that one bar I was when they were playing the accordion. The guy was playing the accordion and everything. That one nightclub that I went to, seemed like it was pretty mixed when, as far as like the night scene, the social scene is concerned. Overall, I couldn't make out the where like, oh, it's way more women than there are guys. It seemed pretty mixed, man.
Okay, thank you, brother. Next question for you, brother, is N-word used. Was the N-word said at all in Kenya towards you or out in the open? What?
Yeah. So yeah, I had to check. I had to check one of the chicks that I talked to, because she was, what I'm saying, she was saying the N-word, you know what I mean? And I was like, honestly, like for real, you should. I had to like, tell her like, listen, you shouldn't really say that. One, you sound funny. You sound really silly saying it. You know what I mean? Because she was trying to be cool, right? You know what I mean? Because again, they listen to contemporary hip hop music. It's whatever's playing over in the States is playing over there. You know what I'm saying? As well. All of it for the most part. They're up on like new artists, just like old artists. So, I didn't have to say that. She was the only one I had to check. To be honest with you, I don't ever recall, really having, hearing a lot of Kenyans say that or on any level. She particularly, you know what I'm saying, it was like annoying. so I was like, she didn't do it all the time, but she would be like trying to be funny, you know what I mean? And then this guy was like, you know what? After like maybe the third or fourth time of her saying it, I was like, listen, you really shouldn't be saying that. She's like, what? I'm black? I'm like, yeah, but you're not Black American. And then you saying it with a funny accent. I said, like if you said that around other Black Americans, they may be offended by it, so on and so forth. She's like, okay, cool, and that was it. So that's a case of like, hey, you telling a woman something. I told her something, she took it, and that was it. It was no more. It was no, attitude and blah 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 or anything like that. Like she was, what I'm saying, most of the time they're pretty receptive to it. When you have to like lay something down to a woman to tell them this or that, they're like, okay, they go with it. They're not like, gonna give you pushback. You know what I mean? As long as you set the boundaries, you say what you mean what you say. For the most part, they're gonna be like, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying, and just roll with it. They're not gonna like buck you, and you know what I mean, or give you a bunch of attitude like that. Now that part I appreciated them. Are they westernized? Yes, but like that part, it was 100% refreshing.
Okay, thanks for that, brother. Next question for you, bro, is what are the dangers to be aware of in Kenya in general? Is it foreigner hate towards Black men who are not from Kenya? Is it police brutality? You know, what should black men be aware of in general in Kenya?
Well, I would say, I would say, as far as like being in, you know, as far as it like, you know, to your body, like, is it dangerous, so to speak? I didn't find that. I didn't find that, and I know, like in certain areas, I know people were looking at me because, like, I just walked down the street. Some people, like, I could tell the eyes were on me. I would peep it. I would look, you know, and see how I would look to see other people's reactions when they would look at me. Especially, I have a tattoo on my left forearm that has Africa. It's Africa, and it has the red, black, and green. You know, so tattoos definitely kind of like stand out, especially as big as that one because it's a cover-up tattoo. So people that definitely, I would see people looking at my arm. I could, you know, I would get a kick out of it. For the, like I said, for the most part, I walked by, you know, it was areas where I felt safe, in the sense, but I was on guard. Like, I was definitely keeping my head on a swivel. You know what I mean? But is it like, you know, muggers and things of that nature? Like, at least where I was, the areas I was in Kilauea, for a month, and then I stayed in South B, which now South B is the less what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say, it's the less posh of the two places. Kilauea was much more upper class and more affluent, than South B was. But in both cases, like, you know, I remember one time I walked this girl home, and it was like maybe like 1 o'clock in the morning or so. And it was after curfew, which was risky because that was risky, after curfew. And I didn't make a habit of doing that too much, but yeah, because that's where you could possibly come in contact with the police. So I didn't really play that game, you know, that often, you know what I'm saying, at all. Like, I respected that curfew thing because, you know, the Kenyan police are known to like bribe people, you know, I mean, to take bribes from people, and and they're corrupt or what have you. Now, I had two situations where, again, I dealt with, so was it two situations? Yeah, well, yeah. One, I had to go to the police station and report a crime. That was that girl, that Somalian lady that took my money. And then another one where the police were called on me or what have you. And that's another story for another day. And both, you know, I know I was not in the wrong. So, and it, you know, in both cases, I didn't have any issues with the police. I never had any police trying to, you know, run me down, run my pockets or anything like that. I never had any Kenyan people or Kenyan men or anyone like that, like, you know, take advantage of me. Like, whenever I got into an Uber or what have you. Like, one of the scariest moments was when I first got off the plane, and I had booked a rental car, but come to find out that the rental company was closed. So, and as soon as I left, you know, I exit the airport immediately. You know, the taxi people are coming to you. Hey, you know, you need a taxi, blah blah blah. And I was told. So here's one thing I was told, and I did keep to this. And this is what I got told universally. First and foremost, one secure your phone. So that's one thing you need to do. You need to secure your phone. I never took selfies and stuff like that. Like, you know, I was always aware whenever I had my phone out, like, I was aware of my surroundings or what have you. So, in fact, even inside of the vehicle, like, people, like, they were like, "Hey, roll your window up," because, you know, people will actually reach inside the vehicle and grab your phone right out of your hand as you're like inside. You're like, so you're in the backseat of Uber or something. You know, they're coming, you know, and let's say it's like, so there was a lot of times it was like standby traffic, like the traffic would come to a standstill because they're doing a lot of construction, and there'd be people like selling stuff, you know what I'm saying, back and forth or whatever. And they were, you know, saying, now, did it ever happen? It never happened. I never, I got told this 1,001 times. It never happened, but that's something to be aware of. Like, you got to be aware of your surroundings or what have you, especially like if you're in the central business district, like in downtown Nairobi, like, it's people everywhere. And also, I was told, don't ever get in a taxi. Like, don't get in a taxi. It's better for you to use an Uber than to use a taxi. So I kept to that. And so I learned this prior to me even coming. So when a taxi guy was coming and approaching me, like, you know, "Hey, do you need help?" And I told him no, you know, but he followed me. He literally followed me from the exit all the way over to the trailers where where the rental car place was, but it was closed, right? So then he was like, "Hey, I can take you to the other one," and I'm like, "No, man, just take me to the hotel." And so, like the whole time, so he gets he gets me into another cab, right? And I'm thinking he there's another guy. It's not him. so I put my stuff into this cab. It was like a station wagon type vehicle, right? And then the other guy jumps in, and I'm just like, man. I'm sitting up there saying to myself, like, man, I'm gonna have to fight this dude because I don't know where I'm going. I have no idea where this hotel is at, like for real. And he took me there, man. And plus on top of that, like the street lights at night, like they're like it's almost like in certain parts of Detroit. So Detroit's known for certain areas where it's not really lit. And I'm like, damn, man, this is looking like Detroit in certain areas. Like the street lights weren't light on the highway. And again, I don't know what this hotel.
Thank you, brother.
Nothing. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, you got to be aware of your surroundings.
Thank you, brother. Should brothers travel alone or in a group to Nairobi, Kenya?
I would say always. If you can travel in a group, you can, man. But when it comes to international, in fact, I try to get a couple of my homies. My cousin wanted to come. A couple of guys from work or what have you. They were like, yeah, man, I want to get over there, dog. Let me know next time. So here's next time, right? I literally bought my ticket like yesterday. So I'm like, hey, I reached out to my homies, like, hey, I'm gonna be over here this time. We'll see if they actually come or not. So it would be nice to go with another person. It's always better to be in twos, you know what I'm saying? Or you have a battle buddy. I'm in the army. We used to get in trouble. Hey, where's your battle buddy at? It's always better to have another person. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't ultimately necessary at the end of the day. Because like I said, I was in regular areas, with the people, you know what I mean? And I never I kept my eye, I kept my head on the swivel or what have you, but I never ran into anyone that was going to try to, it's not like
that.
Okay.
Thanks for that, brother. Next question for you, bro, is, let's see. Last question, brother. Is Nairobi, Kenya safe in general for black men to live a great life there, enjoy themselves? Is it a safe city, safe country for Western black men?
I mean, I would say so, man. I definitely would say so. I would like to look at the statistics between Joburg and Nairobi. I think Joburg is actually worse in crime from what I remember. You just got to have a little bit of street smarts, a little bit of common sense. But for the most part, man, no, like I said, the whole time I was there, I never saw any person get into any type of physical argument or conflict with I never even witnessed it, let alone. I mean, I did get into an argument with the lady that I rented my place from. Like we went back and forth, and the police were called. So that was a negative experience. But I wasn't afraid. When the police came, I wasn't afraid of the police, or anything like that. People were cool for the most part, man. Like I said, my interactions with other Ugandan men were pretty positive on that note. I didn't really feel like any hate or anything like that towards me or anything. Any of them, the Uber drivers were all cool and everything. I remember one time we rented Uber for a whole day, $50. The guy, let chill with us or what have you. Went to a park or whatever because they weren't, letting us drink. You couldn't go to a club or anything. So the guy was real cool. Make sure he had drinks. Make sure he had food. As long as you hospitable to people and you just show people respect. You're not being the A word or whatever. Then you're going to see that reciprocal respect back. Is what I found. I didn't find any really negative people, so to speak. So I think so, man.
Thank you, brother. Brother, this has been a fantastic stream so far, brother. 2 hours of golden intel regarding Kenyan women. Thank you very much, Jarrod, Ivan Lamont. Thank you, brother. Before I pop the phone lines, brothers, here's my Instagram, brothers. If you want to reach out to me directly, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. If you want to speak to me one-on-one over a phone call, I prefer to over IG. So please reach out to me over IG, brothers. Send me a DM. I'm also on Twitter as well, brothers. So follow me on Twitter, brothers. send me a DM on Twitter. I use Twitter a lot to update to provide updates on my channel and IG as well. So if you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, send me a DM on Twitter, I will speak. I'm also on the Cash App as well, brothers. So I strongly advise you, brothers, to hit the Cash App, brothers. Follow me. That's open 24/7. So hit the Cash App, brothers, and that'd be greatly appreciated. I will put up the phone lines. So brothers, call in to ask the brother questions about Kenya and Kenyan women. Please keep it on the live stream topic. And please, if you can't call in, you must Cash App or super chat your questions for the guests to answer it. So let's get this live stream popping. Thank you very much, Jarrod. I will personally say I'm going to pass on Kenyan women. I feel like they're very close to being westernized, and I don't want to be caught in the middle of that. To be honest, I'm tired of dealing with Western women in general, and I won't deal with a Western influenced foreign woman.
Yeah.
That's not happening. I dealt with one recently, bro.
Right.
I got a big heartbreak. You know about that, bro. She was a chick from not from this country, staying here for a couple months, already influenced by Western culture. And look how she did me. So I can't go through that again. I've got to go to the source and deal with women there directly. It's the only way, bro. It's the only way. So brothers, call in. Call in, brothers. Call in, brothers. The guest is here to answer your questions.
Yeah, Cortez.
Yeah,
I want to talk to you. Yeah, Cortez, come on up, man. Yeah. I want to know how I'm blue pill, bro. Tell me how I'm blue pill.
BP. Say BP, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's B. Okay, BP.
RP, BP. No problem, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, calling Cortez. Let me bring in the legend, Sean Camp.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Sean Camp?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Gerard?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good, player. I was over there in 2019.
Oh, for real?
Right. We was over there the summer right before the pandemic hit. So it seemed like, because I got in the stream late, so it seemed like you went over there during COVID time.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh man, so you ain't really get to go to the clubs and stuff.
Yeah, I really didn't, man. I didn't get to really experience that in its full in a full blast, man. So but I'm going over there this January. I just bought my ticket. Was here yesterday. I bought my ticket. I'll be there leaving on January 17th, and I'll be there till March 17th. So I should have plenty. I'm going to go to Mombasa, go get check that out as well.
Yeah, I went to Mombasa. Yeah, we did that trip. We did Nairobi, Mombasa, and then we went to Ethiopia after that.
Oh yeah. Dude, I definitely want to hit Ethiopia up as well. But they got that civil war type thing going on over there, dude. So
yeah, but from what I'm hearing, I mean, they say it's more, because I still talk to some of the women there here and there. They were saying it's more like protests and addicts. They saying the war is like on the border, like villages and stuff. They just doing a lot of protesting and addicts, but it's
I heard the same thing. Like it's in the Tigray area, like further north.
That's almost by Eritrea. But IP, like he's totally right about like like the phones, because actually Nairobi's nickname is Nairobi.
Not robbery,
because they know that like they'll literally pull up on your on the con, like grab your phone if you got it out. So he's right. Everybody was saying, "Hey, put your phone. We gotta roll the window up." So so he's not. That was the only thing particularly they said that was kind of like a danger there. And don't go by what was that project called? They call it Little Mogadishu, because all the Somalians stay over there. Yeah, because I stayed in Westlands.
Oh, you in the Westlands? Yeah.
I
nice.
stayed over
nice
there.
Area,
it's nice. That's where a lot of the clubs, cafes, and stuff at. And I stayed over there. And what else? Now, what I did notice, a lot of them Kenyan chicks was on white dudes hard too. It was enough for the brothers, of course, but that's one of the few countries I went to. I saw a lot of, women, like Kenyan women with white guys. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something I just noticed.
Yeah.
Some of the things I noticed over there, but and I know one guy was asking about the Tanzania, see, because it's still COVID over there. But when it's wide open, man, I met women from Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Somalia, Ethiopia. I mean, everything on that over in East Africa would be in Nairobi because it's basically like the hub of East Africa.
Right.
Yeah, and now just a word of advice: Mombasa is more like a Thursday to Sunday type of place because it's born like from Monday through Thursday. So but you can go sightseeing, do some of the beaches. We did a safari out there. We went to Savo East. But so yeah, you can do that too. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hour ride from Mombasa, but it kind of like don't liven up until Thursday down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I'm probably gonna bring sand to the beach, So I had told my lady friend that I was gonna, that's what we was gonna go do. You know what I mean? To go to Mombasa or whatever for the weekend or whatever, at least just once, and then
Y'all gonna fly? Don't take the train either, man.
You said don't take the train? I thought the train was like the simplest way to get there.
I think you can. Yeah, you can fly there, and it shouldn't be that much on Kenyan Airways, airlines. But man, that train, you know how they said they promised you will see all these animals, and no, you'll see like a couple of elephants in the distance here and there. Yeah. Might see a giraffe because it actually does go through a reserve.
Yeah.
But you don't really see the animals like that. And it's like about a 5.5, 6 hour ride too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So you're saying that the quickest way is to fly, but then I think
but
the
then
bus
you're
ride
gonna
is
have
like
to do. Yeah, the bus ride probably like 8 or 9. Yeah. But and I don't know how it is now. Well, you was using Uber, so that's good. When we were there, the Uber drivers were striking.
Oh,
so we had to take cabs, but the hotel would get cabs for us, or if we went somewhere to eat, they would get the cabs for us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Man.
Thanks for that, Sean Camp.
Okay. But hit me up, man, if you need more about Mombasa.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I definitely will. We'll do that.
Thanks for that, Sean Camp. Thanks for that, brothers. Much appreciated, brothers. Brothers, hit the cash app, brothers. Hit the super chat, brothers, to support the stream and the channel. Will be much appreciated. Miss International, can you turn your camera on in the background? It's still white. It's still white, bro. Can you try and fix that, Miss International? I don't know what's happening there, but I've got to make sure I see you before adding you, bro. Because these trolls out here, as you can see, they're coming after the channel. John Wallace, couple trolls. Eric, can you turn your camera on in the background, Eric? I can't see you, Eric. It's all black. Eric, I can't see you, brother. Yeah, you're verified, Eric. Thank you, bro. Turn off your camera. Eric, do you want me to add you on with the camera on or off? Give me a thumbs up for the camera on. Eric, do you want the camera on? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, Eric, if I should add you to the panel with your camera on, Eric. Okay, let me add in Eric. What's going on, Eric? How are you, bro? Eric, how you doing, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yes, bro. Loud and clear, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear
Okay,
you.
good. All right. We got a lag.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Eric, jump out the stream and call back in. There's a lag there. It's a
There's a
connection
lag?
issue. Yeah, it's a big lag. So if you drop
Oh.
off the stream and call back in.
All right,
Okay.
Gerard, hey, what compare Detroit to Kenya? I mean, you have like the
Said compare Detroit to Kenya. I mean, Detroit's a first world city compared to Kenya, which is developing. I won't say, I'm not going to use that word third, but developing country. So it's really no even our worst areas. You know what I'm saying, compared to their worst areas, don't compare. It's a developing country, man. Like that was the big. I did have a culture shock in the sense of, because I had been to Africa before, but I had been to Johannesburg before, so that kind of like set what my expectation of Africa was to be. And I knew Kenya. I had researched about Kenya being like the Silicon Savannah. It's the hub of East Africa. They've had a lot of different summits, and Nairobi. It's like one of the fastest growing economies in the continent right now. So I just expected it not to have some of the infrastructure issues that it has. In Westlands and Kilauea and Kilimani, it's pretty good, but you still see like open sewage. You know what I'm saying? Like that was new for me. Certain areas there's like, especially like in certain parts of Nairobi, outside of the main highways and the main roads, like, let's say, streets leading out to actual townships or to actual, certain communities or what have you, it's like dirt road, man. And, it's like, I was so surprised that those Uber drivers would take those little small subcompact cars, man. And I mean, this is something I'm looking at like, yo, you need a 4x4 truck to go, because the road will be so uneven, and especially if it rains, because there's no irrigation. You know what I'm saying? They will pull up, man. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just like, oh my God, dude. I'm like, and these are 3-cylinder engines. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh man, full of the driver, 3 other people in it. It was wild, man. So that for sure. We, as bad as Detroit is, we don't have that. But at the end of the day, it's so much opportunity there, man. Like that's the thing that I saw, man. It's like so much opportunity. I just was looking at a list today of like the top 10 businesses that you can start with 200,000 Kenyan shillings, right? And I did the conversion rate, and that's like $1,700. US dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could get into a business for under 2,000. Where are you going to be doing? What business can you really start? Like and we're talking about like brick and mortar, or at least a physical location business for that type of money, man. So it's definitely opportunity there, man. Definitely, as far as if you want to get into the business part of it.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Gerard. Miss International, can you turn your camera on in the background, please? I don't see you, bro. Yes, verified. Thank you, brother. Turn it off. Let me bring in Miss International. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I think I got the cheat code, man. I'm gonna have to start using my back camera, man, because the past couple streams, I don't know, man. The feds or whatever, man, they been hating on me. They don't want me to show my face no more. They're trying to get me off of this channel. But I would just like to say to the guest speaker, welcome to the movement. You got a key city. Recently I was looking at the where Kenya was in Africa. If I'm correct, isn't it like smack dab in the middle practically, man? The soul Africa.
I mean, it's part of closer to like northern part of Africa. I mean, here's the countries that surround it. Ethiopia's to its north, Sudan is to its north, to its east would be Somalia, to its south, or what have you, is Uganda. I think Malawi and as well as Rwanda are on its western borders as well. So western, northern borders or what have you. I think it was, let me see, South Sudan on that. So that's more like closer to the Horn of Africa if you really like think about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is definitely, you know, it's north, but not like north like Egypt. You know what I'm saying? You still,
it's landlocked, am I correct?
No, it has access to the Indian Ocean by way of their coast. Their coast is on the Indian Ocean.
All right, man. But one question I did have, I don't know if you said this earlier, but do they have like long hair, natural hair? You know, like do you see some like exotic light skinned girls or something like that? Like you see, because you know even in the States, or I don't like girls with weave in the States. I know we're talking about Kenya, but I'm just using that as an example. I don't like none of that stuff, man. It doesn't matter where I'm at in the world. So I'll just, you know, sometimes I like they doll up so much that you like I might give them a pass, but it's not my preference, you know.
So here's what I'm gonna tell you, man. If you want women that don't do the weaving and sandaling it up, as my boy O'Shea says, you gonna have to deal with more of the Somali women and the Ethiopian women, man, because they normally have, you know, their and the Somalian women, most of them are covered because they're Muslims. So your better bet is going to be an Ethiopian or Eritrean or something to that effect. I mean, for the most part, I'm trying to think. Almost every woman that I knew of definitely used synthetics in their hair. Either they wore wigs, they wore weave, or they had their hair in braids. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for like the long straight hair, that type of like look, you're gonna probably have to deal with Ethiopians. And just to be honest with you, man, like, you know, that's a little harder. You know, Ethiopians aren't as open, you know, as other Africans are. I mean, you can, you know, when I switch my Tinder profile to Addis Ababa, you know, like I got a bunch of matches in Ethiopia, and then like there are Ethiopian women that I talk to, but it's definitely much more like on the vibe, like, you know, they want you to chase them type thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm just never really like that interested in ever chasing anybody. Like I just match my level to them. But yeah, yeah, bro, it's like the States one of that. I mean, really, Africa's like that. Period, man. In fact, they even bleach over there. You know what I'm saying? So they got that going on. They bleach as well. So, you know, if that really bothers you, Kenya probably is not going to be the spot, or you're going to have to deal with non-black women or women that are more closely like related to, you know, like I say, Ethiopians, Somalians, that type of mix. You know what I'm saying? They got the Arab or Sudanese that have that type of like Arab black mixture. You know what I'm saying? Because most women in the continent, I'm even in South Africa, I could think of Ghana, most of them, you know what I'm saying, put hair products, you know, in there. You know, they do just like our black women do in the States or what have you.
Okay, thanks for that,
Hey,
brothers.
hey, I was just gonna say, yeah, because you know I did my research. You know, there was a previous stream on South Africa and Durham, and you know they didn't really talk about that, but this, you know, I know about Ethiopia and the capital, and also I want to go to Algeria, even though that's, you know, they're similar to French, but they're not French. You know what I mean? And
That's
today,
you're gonna learn
yeah,
Arabic.
yeah, as of today, I was just talking to a Nigerian chick and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. But yeah, I was just gonna say it'll just be for fun. Like besides Ethiopia, because I know about Ethiopia, about the long hair and stuff like that. Because I just like the natural look. Because you know what I mean. I don't like to be stereotyped. You know how people would, you know what I'm talking about, man. I'm not gonna get into it because we're into this, but I would just have fun over there. And Nairobi, you know, the nickname and all that stuff like that. Yeah, they even have. Yeah, they got real videos of people like doing tests. They got like a taser, had their phone outside the car, but the grip in their heart, and people would be grabbing it and stuff. That was like bait, but yeah, man, you gotta be careful for thieves out there. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's true. You got to be careful. Like so, I never witnessed it. I never had it happen to me, or what have you. And like I never feared like I was in any fear of somebody like mugging me. I definitely didn't feel like nobody was gonna freaking blow anything in my face or drug my drink or, you know, assassinate me because I bought some land in Brazil. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know how people deal with Brazil and Colombia, dog. Like I don't like, for me personally, like I'm so much about, you know, speaking my English, you know, speaking English and that being the main language. I don't want to have to learn another language like that. I'm stuck up like that. I guess I'm just, you know, crass, you know, American when it comes to that. Like why? You know, my thing is like, even if I were to go to Latin America, I'll go to Belize. They speak English in Belize. In Guyana, they speak Trinidad. You know, and they got the women that you're talking about, and also Indian women are more prone to deal with you in Guyana and in Trinidad than they are in any other place. I'm not a Brazil. That's not something for me for Brazil, dog. That whole language barrier thing is just a no-go. I'm too old to try to learn Portuguese or Spanish or anything like that. You know, I'm just like, hey, the Brits brought us over here. so they didn't, you know, they have wherever the Brits are, I'm gonna go where the Brits were. Wherever they colonized, I go there. You know, that's just me personally, you know what I'm saying? So South Africa,
that's smart, man. That's smart. And
yeah.
IP be preaching about that, you know, black women from all around, not just in the Matrix. So that's a similar thing that we're talking about, and definitely we gotta pursue, you know, all avenues, man. That's all I gotta say. Great stream, IP.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, brother. Thank you. So I'm going to end the stream now, brothers. I think it's been a very productive stream. I'm pretty tired. I've got a lot of work to do in the morning. So I want to say a huge thank you to the guest for what he's done. So let me go through for everyone for their last closing statement. Sean Camp, do you have anything to say last, bro?
Just another great stream. Keep up the good work, man. And just thank you, man. Just thank you for all that you do. And man, you need to get some rest, man. Sometimes you gotta take a day off, IP.
Yeah. I'm tired. I'm not
gotta
gonna
recharge that battery sometimes.
Mm.
So yeah, man, just appreciate what you're doing as usual, and everybody get those passports. And thanks to the guests too. Thanks to Gerard.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Sean Camp. Mr. International, do you have any last statements, brother, before I end the stream?
It's great that we're reaching all the continents, man, and we're not going to stop here. And the host, you know, the guests, you know, I hope you got more tales to speak. You know what I mean? Hoping to see you in the future. And this is only getting bigger, man. And thanks for your support. IP is working in many ways for many people, not just me. You know what I mean? It's reaching people, no matter if they try to, you know, do whatever, you know. And I ain't gonna say the trigger words, but the channel puts you down, man. But this channel is going to succeed, man, no matter what, because it's bigger than us.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for that, Mr. International. Appreciate it, bro. Tim Howard, no capital letters, please. Mr. Jared Classic, you did a great job, brother. A very good job. Do you have any closing statements yourself, brother?
Yeah, man. So just to address Mr. Smith again. Listen, man. Hey, for those who want to go to Latin America and learn Spanish and Portuguese, that's to each his own, man. That's a good thing. I love you, IP, for, you know, breaking it, opening it up in long format. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the type of format that you need. I like the questions. And hey, thanks for keeping me on point, bro. I know sometimes I ramble. I have so many stories to tell, man. So many stories to tell. But that's why I came back. You know, I told you I went to BMT. BMT interviewed me on 2 interviews or what have you. But he keeps his streams to like just like 1 hour the max, you know what I'm saying? And for me, like, it's a lot more information for those who, you know what I'm saying, who can, you know, stay on a longer, you know, stream to get, it takes a little bit more to get it out. And man, you have been, bro, you've been busting your butt. I see Croatia, China, Thailand, you know what I'm saying? All these different countries. That's what it's about, man. And you know what I'm saying? It's not just Latin America. It's a bunch of other countries or what have you. And to your own preference. Just me, my personal preference. I want to speak English and I want to be able to read in English, you know. That's just me personally. You know, to the person that doesn't, you know, that's it. You know, that's fine, man. As far as a statement about there's more brothers dying in Africa than it is in Colombia, you got to pull a stat on that, man. You know, I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't. But anyways, thanks for what you do. Thanks for bringing me on. I really appreciate you, man. You're a real humble guy. I reached out to you. You immediately got back to me, man. I know you were so busy. I know it was some time from the time that you actually reached out to me and actually did the stream. But because you grinding, man, you got so many things lined up, bro. You out here doing it, bro. And I really appreciate what you're doing for the brothers out here. Just to show them as a different, it's something different. You know what I'm saying? And giving the intel, the true intel, whether good or bad. You know what I mean? Like with the Chinese one, man. I think everybody kind of came away with that one, like, no, we don't want to deal with that, But at least it was, it's a true assessment of these countries, man, and letting you know. And it's good you give people the opportunity to have experience that have been somewhere to tell their story, man. So I think I salute to what you do, bro. You know what I'm saying? And keep grinding, man. Get that sleep, man.
Thank you, bro. And I definitely need it. Thank you for that, Gerard. Shout out to Conrad Grant for the $2 super chat. Great stream, brother. Gerard, IP Fire Intel. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Conrad Grant. Thank you again to the guests. Much appreciate you, brother, for coming in and dropping intel, heavy intel about Kenyan women. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you, brother. I will see you, brothers, tomorrow for the Team Asia and Team Latina live stream. Looking forward to it, brothers. And look after yourself, brothers, wherever you are around the world. And I will see you, brothers, soon. Guests, thank you again, brothers. Thank you to all who cashed up in super chat today. It wasn't a lot, but I'm grateful for what people do. So thank you, brothers. Look after yourself, brothers.